welcome to another painting. I know that we've painted a couple of these already. I want to paint another one. Okay, let's see how we're going to get started today. I'm going to first, let me go over here to my brush set, and I'm going to just grab my little tree and texture brush. It's kind of a deer foot by Princeton. You know, you could use an angle brush, an old angle brush, work it out, and you could make the same brush. You could even take, let me look here, like I got a little filbert brush here, and it's kind of seen its better days. But that would start making a good brush too. So whenever your brushes get kind of ragged, don't get rid of them, because there's always something. Let me see, I had an angle brush. Maybe I'll find it here in a minute when we're, oh, right here it is. But here's an old angle brush I had, and I've used it over and over and over, and it's kind of gotten bad there, but it's kind of almost the same brush. So yeah, you get a little angle brush, keep those. That, and I'm going to go into that black. I'm just going to grab a little bit right out of the tube. I'm not going to add anything to it. Just tap it on there, just real lightly. And then I'm going to come up in here. I'm just going to start tapping. Start tapping. And I've got a little light right here that is just annoying me, and it's hard to see, so I'm going to move that a little bit. Come in here and get a little bit more, and I'm just going to start putting in some dark tones. Hopefully you can see those. See those little dark tones, just kind of doing this stippling effect, I guess is what you'd call it. And then you see here where we came in, we'll bring those out just a little bit, but just a little light pressure, light pressure. Don't overdo it. Just real light out there. Then kind of come in here. Again, don't cover up all your backgrounds, because there's actually when I did that with the acrylics, I put in the green, some browns, some yellows, just kind of mixed them around as I went. Just made some different tonal values. And then I'm just kind of putting some of this in, just lightly. Pressing a little bit more in areas, I should say, where I think that there's going to be dark areas. Like this might be kind of dark over in here. And as we come down, it's going to be a lot darker. Darker as you come down here. And like I said, we can always add more later. I was in my freshman year, I had to take art, and you know, we had to draw crumpled up pieces of paper. I thought was really stupid. We had to draw, you know, an outline of our hand. Really dumb. All these things that I thought was so bad, and why am I taking this? Well, again, it was a process. The crumpled up paper, it taught us about light and dark and 3 dimensions and values, but I couldn't see that when I was that young. And then and I'm adding some yellows, but I'm also going back in and getting some of these greens, bringing some of those in there, and just kind of making some various shades. Go back in with that. And I'll add a little bit more as we go, but now take that and I'm going to kind of come back in here. And this is just going to be a lot of detail. These trees back here. We might add a little bit more detail here in a little bit, but right now I just kind of want to see where I'm at in here. There we go. And just maybe some highlights, just there we go. Like I said, not a lot, a little bit there. And we might get that here a little bit. But get a little water on there just to. All right, I'm gonna come in here in that yellow, kind of mix it around there, and then I'm gonna come up here. Got a little light on that. Put my maul stick on here. But look how it's just really starting to look like a grove of trees there. Just don't know where they go or how far they go back. We're just gonna kind of shape them just a little bit. There we go. Maybe just a little bit up in here. Ready, I'm gonna come in here, and I have what I didn't put on there, and I don't really want much of it, but I'm just gonna dab just a speck of blue, the ultramarine blue. All right, so I'm gonna come in here with the brown, the green, the blue. I'm going to just add just a touch of that. And maybe just the tip of that, just in there. Maybe just a little bit more. All right. Now I'm going to come up in here, and I'm just going to start pulling down. I'm going to start pulling down and getting that, some of that color in there. And it's going to kind of go all the way off here, maybe a little bit over in here. Boom. And then there's here, and there was here. In for now, but there'll be a lot more detail in here. I'm just trying to give you guys kind of an idea what it's going to start looking like. And I'm really going to start. It's going to look nice, and we'll put some water effects in there. So, but that'll be later on. We got quite a ways to go. So, anyway, I'm gonna start working on some of this background of the trees and see where we can go from there. Okay, let's see here. While we were gone, I went ahead and I finished the trees, kind of came down here. I decided to keep it on this side. I wasn't sure. The reason is I wanted to put a little waterfall in here, and we'll block this in with some grasses or some bushes or maybe a rock, I don't know. And then I'm just kind of bringing it out here, and I'm just kind of working on my water here. So I just got a little bit of the white, a little bit of that blue, a little bit of black, kind of make it a kind of a bluish gray color. And I'm just going to kind of come up in here, and I've got kind of a big brush right now. I may get a smaller one, and I'm just kind of. And there won't be a lot of them out here because I want it to be more smooth. But in here where we got the waterfall coming out, I'm going to add more add more ripples, can add more stuff on the water. And you won't really see through the water right there, but see how I brought my shadows down? I think that's really going to look good. There we go, just a little bit there, just barely touching the canvas. Don't want to get a lot of paint. And as my paint runs out, I kind of come over in here and just slowly. Apparently I got a big piece in there. Oh well. It's going to come down here. And then this is going to be grass over here. I'm just slowly, don't make them all uniform, but just kind of come in here and just kind of bring some in here and kind of over here. There we go. Just kind of let that look like there's some depth to the water. There we go. I think we'll just leave it like that for now. All right, I'm going to see if I can turn this just a little bit. All right, I'm going to clean out my brush. Now I'm going to kind of come over here. Let me find my, I'm going to go with my fan brush here. I had it a little bit wet. I was using it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to go in this ochre, a little bit of ochre there, maybe a little bit of green, a little bit of this black, green and blue that I mixed up. Just a little bit. I'm going to take just a touch of that, okay, maybe just a little yellow, but we don't want too much yellow because we're going to highlight it with yellow. Now let's just kind of come in here and pull down, just pull down. We're going to just kind of start making our grasses here. And you kind of know how we make our grasses, so I'm gonna just kind of start putting it in, and then I'll go and start refining it here in a little bit. But there we go. Just refining it, and then maybe the grasses kind of go this way. You just kind of pulling up and down. And I'm going to go into some of that black, maybe over here where I had some of that blue in there, and just kind of putting some of my darks in there. Kind of turned to a grayish color on me, but that's all right. Seats that in there. Maybe I just put another one in here, and then I added a little bit of darker, and then now if I just come up in here with that light. So now I'm going to go back to that little liner brush, a 0, and I'm going to grab just a tiny bit of that oil over here, and I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to grab this, and let me grab this, and maybe I'll pull some in there. There we go. Yeah, and maybe just a little bit of white over in here. There we go. Okay, set that there. I might need it. Now let's kind of go in here. I'm going to drag through, And again, I'm not going to show all this on. And then this is where we're going to kind of come in here, and we're just going to start highlighting some grasses. But this is going to take a while, so I'm not going to do all this on camera. You kind of get the idea of it. Okay, now off camera here, what I did, let me turn this just a little bit. All right, I went ahead and I put some little bushy grasses in. I started to put little fine grasses in. I'm like, no, I want more of like a bushy area, like it's been overgrown and just bushy. And then I took just a little tree, a little dead tree, and just kind of put it in there just to push everything back. Then I kind of come in here and I kind of blended some of my water. Really like how this turned out. Just a fun little painting. I mean, it wasn't difficult by any means. I just wanted, like I said, I wanted it like a spring, summer, maybe early fall. I mean, I just didn't know. And I'm just kind of coming in here and just putting a few little details in here. There we go. Just putting some of those grasses, you know, like I said, but just some of the shadow of some of them, just to kind of make this front ground pop a little more. But no, I don't want, like I said, I don't want too much in there. I guess I don't want this foreground to be the detail. I want it to kind of be the lake and everything kind of happening around it. I want the eye to kind of move around a little bit. But I don't want it to get stuck in one place like here. That's why I'm trying to just be real subtle in some of these things. Just kind of putting some, look like might be some shadowing or something in here. Just kind of break up some of it, but not a lot. And I think that's where we're just going to say that's done. I really like this painting. I think it turned out well. Again, you can come in and make this tree a little bigger. You can leave it out. You can put a lot more limbs on there. I might put a few more limbs, but again, the more limbs you put on it, the more it starts taking away from everything else. So I think we're going to call this done. I appreciate you coming and painting along with us or watching us paint. Maybe you can paint it too and have a really good time. Have a good week. I'm going to post one tomorrow. Anyway, have a great week. Thanks for stopping by and watching us paint. Hope you enjoyed it.